Hello and welcome to Toyfarerapy. I am your host, Dr. Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by my YouTube wife, the man who founded the Neca Illuminati, Mrs. Dr. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar underscore games, along with the man Modern Toy Fair has majority custody over 1/3 of the Figuratively Speaking podcast, Nurse Nate.
Hello, nurse. That's me.
Yes. So the way that Toyfarerapy works is we are going to ask our guest, who this episode is going to be, Jarmar underscore
Yes?
games.
I didn't know this at all.
I
did not.
know. I made sure not to send you the
Surprise.
questions just so we could just surprise it on you. Like, so welcome to the
Amazing
show.
It
So we're
feels
gonna
good to be on the couch.
I'm glad. I'm glad to have you on the couch. We're going to ask him a handful of questions to find out what he collects and the way he collects what he collects. So let's start off with our first question. That is, what toy lines do you collect and why those ones over others?
Well, I mean, it's fairly obvious of what I have. And one of the main things that I collect is the Ninja Turtles, of course, the good old TMNT.
I like turtles.
And I mean, really, as of late, Neca is my main supplier for my sweet TMNT. Of course, you got Super 7 tossing out some hot bangers every once in a while, once every year, so it feels like.
It really does.
But I mean, really, those are like the two like main killers for me right now for TMNT. Playmate, I'm sorry, they just
Have you gotten any of the like the Playmates reissues or remolds that they've done?
so I would say before NECA started really going really hard, I was getting a lot of those, and they're just in boxes right now, and it was novel. It was really cool to be like, oh yeah, now I got a mint on card version of the loose figure that I have from original run, and now it just keeps going. That's been about like maybe 4 or 5 years now, maybe a little bit longer than that. And they're just still re-releasing those same ones. And it's cool for people who haven't gotten them or wasn't, around when they first came out. But for me, I'm like, thank you. Do something new. Like, that's all I want from Playmate at this point. But I guess we'll probably talk about that later. But I'm not just a one-trick pony anymore now. There's, Power Rangers is a line of, I mean, I guess I'd say line, but that's another property that I collect, of course, with X-Men, the retro card figures from Hasbro, Star Wars. We still got like the one-off things, such as like the Mandalorian figures, or things that really, really stick to me. I have most of the Black Series figures for the third trilogy because, I think it was good. So,
It was enjoyable.
sorry. It was enjoyable.
You can't you say it loud. Say
Yeah,
it
but
proud.
I mean, outside of that, I'm pretty much a '90s kid at heart. So anything that pops up that's going to be PlayStation related or, Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars, like stuff like that, I'm gonna find if it comes out. There hasn't really been a strong showing of that lately, but if that does, I will be getting on that. Man, I'm really extending this question here, but go ahead.
That's okay because I like that. Even though I'm just an employee here, but I did want to ask, what do you feel about those Street Sharks that are coming out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we kind of discussed this in like a chat, and honestly, they do look pretty off-putting. They have their own.
That's a nice way to
I
put
would
it.
say. Yeah, I mean, they have their own like look to it for sure. It's definitely not just a remote or remake of the big
Oh yeah,
beefy ones.
definitely.
But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a rumor Storm Collectibles is doing, or did they
Storm-
actually
they teased it.
Yeah, so that'll be the big beefy boys that we'll get. I'm gonna have to see these more before I like straight out, because I could never just downright swear off of something just from like the solicitations, just because I would have done that with some of the Super 7 stuff and I would have been sorely upset. So
Yeah.
we'll check it out. We'll check it out. But I do like to get that representation of things that just make up who I am. So that's part of the reason of a lot of the other random shit that I've been buying as of late. Well, Michael, you know, I've coined the phrase shelf representation.
Shelf representation. We're gonna need a shirt of that here soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I want one.
But I mean that also goes along into now my collecting went from just give me my turtle stuff. I just want to relive my childhood. That's all I want. I want my Star Wars, my X-Men, all that stuff, right? But now it's kind of grown into like I want to share these things with my son, and I want him to grow up and be like, oh man, I have these cool toys that, like, you know, they may or may not be out at that point in time. Such as the stuff that I've been buying recently. So like the Miles Morales figures and the Black Panther stuff. I just want him to see that and be like, oh, cool. This is cool stuff, you know? And if he looks at it and is like, what is this junk? I don't want this. Give me some basketball cards or My Little Pony or whatever. I'm going to be like, well, that's cool. We'll collect whatever you want to collect. But that's part of my motivation now too, is finding things that I want to be like, introduce Ezzy into. So I think that covers. Well, no, actually, I have more.
Did you even touch on the biggest like new vice on your life at all?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, did I miss that?
Well, I have multiple vices, so I don't even know what it could be. Could it be the Disney Plus show Marvel Legends that I'm now?
Oh no, we're talking about the very small and adorable figure line that you've that has like taken a hold of your life.
So, I mean, I've always been a fan of like anime, but it's just more recently I've had that time to just be like, I'm just gonna watch these shows that I've just plugging the holes of like in my TV show anime history, I'll say, that I missed out on. And a lot of these shows have been really hitting for me, and it sucks because it's hard to find a lot of anime figures. But if you hit up this amazing place called Nendoroid is what I'll call it, because oh my god, this has been like probably next to Turtles has been what I spent the most money on in like the past year, and I only have like 7 or 8.
Yeah, but they're also like twice as much as each turtle.
Yeah, but I just love, they're so cute and adorable, and it just gives me a way of like equally representing like another fun side of myself, and they're just so cute and adorable. That's all I can say. But that's of course a part of that. And then also too, I guess I should mention out, because this is another thing that comes to mind, the gaming side. There's, you know, a lot of different things coming out now, but more recently I have like the Apex figures, just because that's a game that I love, and oh my god, they make toys for it. So this is cool. These are things that I probably won't like say, hey Ez, these are cool, you want this? Because he'll be like, what is this? What are video games? I'm in the VR world, Dad. And I'll be like, oh man.
I think the biggest thing with the Apex figures is to be like, these don't look like these characters at all.
That's also very true as well.
I also like that his kid doesn't particularly like him much.
Right?
I'm just setting my expectations.
You're the lame dad who likes nothing that he's into.
Yeah.
No, that's just my
All
expectations.
he wants to do is basketball cards and VR.
And My Little Pony.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I can't assume that he'll be into any of these things that I'm collecting and trying to push on him. But either way, like, I just want to have like a catalog of things and be like, these are cool things that your dad liked, and if you like them, cool. If not, sell them when I die. Just don't.
He's like, if not, they're still dads.
Right. Yep. But I think that mainly covers like why I collect certain things and why I go with certain lines over others. Yeah, I don't think there's any. Am I missing? You guys know me more.
I mean, the major one I noticed you missed, we just covered. So yeah, the good smile with like all the Nendoroids and stuff. That was like the biggest one that I was like, how is he just glazing over that one?
I was getting there.
All right, so let's see. You mentioned Marvel Legends, Black Series, Star Wars. You know, the Nendoroids. We've got Lightning Collection. Obviously, almost everything Turtles. So the next question is gonna be: is there a line that you absolutely refuse to ever get? Like, there's nothing they could possibly do to convince you to buy one of their action figures. And if so, why would you not do it?
Okay, if I had to choose one, it'd be Playmates. And part of it is because I feel like they just don't have the creativity to make something new. And also because I like behind me under the stairs, like I mentioned multiple times, I literally have almost every single Playmate figure for the Ninja Turtles that they made. And like I've seen all of the cool and creative things. Like there's so many things in that line or in that series of, I should say, that are like near and dear to my heart that I just look at and I'm like, God, this is just one of my favorite things ever. And I just haven't been to that level ever again. They remake things that I don't even think is really that great, like the original Four Turtles. Cool, we've all seen those. Give me something else in that line, and it could be licensing issues. I don't know what could really be the reason and all, but like I'm not saying I won't ever buy anything from Playmates. What I'm saying is I don't think they have. I'll just say I don't think they have the balls to make anything exciting. That's what I would say. Outside of repackaging things that they were, big 40, 30 years ago. How old am I? Yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, outside of doing something daring like they did when the Turtles first, came to be, they mostly wouldn't do anything unless a new like TV show started up, it seems.
Yeah, but I mean, what I would expect from Playmates before Super 7 came into my life and blessed me with these amazing Ninja Turtles, I always thought that maybe Playmates would do like a modern version of the Playmate figures, and that would be something that I'd be very into. But instead, it seems like Super 7 is just going to do that for me. So that's where my expectation. I mean, of course, not saying do a new TV show, because when that happens, inevitably, I will probably buy those just because that's who I am. Like for the Rise of the TMNT, I have the figures from that. Same for pretty much any series that's going to come out. I'm going to grab the Playmate stuff. But I just went back on my answer. Okay, I will buy anything.
So what you're saying is the bar is real low for what they have to do to get you to come back. They burned you out because they do nothing but re-release the cast they already have. They don't do anything like to innovate and make them bigger or better.
Right.
But if a new TV show comes out, that's a different story.
Yeah, and only because it's not really Playmates creativity, it's the show that comes out. If we get a cool, probably won't make anything for live action, but then again, we probably will. But like if there's a cool cartoon, isn't Seth Rogen working on like a cartoon it's going to be on Netflix? If they do a deal with Playmates to make figures, I'm going to buy it. Not because of Playmate, but because of, it being a new series or a new rendition of the Turtles.
So it's not. So literally, any other company could do it, and regardless, you'd still buy them. Okay.
Correct.
So it's not a Playmates thing; it's more so just a Turtles thing.
A Turtles thing.
Okay. That's. I guess that makes it a little more murky water for you. So you're not like, I hate Playmates, but I'm gonna give them my money.
I mean, it is that, but yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that answer.
You did look a little surprised.
Yeah. I was I especially considering he just talked about how he had bought at least one or two of the re-releases.
Well, that was, like I said, that was 5 years ago, or maybe longer than that.
Well, I think it just feels that way because they've re-released those Four Turtles 6 times in the past like 3 years. It feels
they have, and they're brand new out again.
Like
they just came in again. Now. They're just finding new packaging to put them in. But no, it really was the first time. The reason how this is a very easy way to determine when I bought those figures. I was getting them at Toys R Us.
Oh,
so
wow.
How long
so
has Toys R Us been going?
Yeah, that was probably that was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the last time I bought any like Playmate stuff, is when Toys R Us was open and they were getting them.
So you did the first set of re-releases where they looked exactly like the originals, not the repackages that they're doing where let's look at this big fancy box full of figures and like.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that at all.
Okay.
I have I think I may have taken them down, but they did like the Mirage Turtle-esque look and with the comic book in it. I bought them just because I'm a shill. Okay. But I've learned my lesson. And now I have Super 7 and Neca to take all my money for that.
Fool me 47 times. Shame on me. So moving on, though, do you have any lines you only collect certain figures of? Or are you more of like, I want every character from that line. I have to complete it.
You know, this is kind of a weird question because I guess it's not depending on the line per se, but it's more so of like the property. And that's how I kind of typically, that's why what company would I not work with anymore? Playmate's the only thing coming in line, because it's really just about the property, about what I'm buying. So obviously, again, Ninja Turtles, pretty much a completionist on that with the Playmate line, except for some things maybe I'll talk about later on in the show. No spoilers. But I would say mostly in general, there's only a few things that I have to complete. So like Apex series, I've been buying those. I just have to have every single legend. That just can't be the case.
Just one of each, not all of the different variations.
One of each.
Okay.
Yes,
just to clarify.
Which is where I was going to ask. Like, is that completionist?
Or no, so completionist would be like you need all of wave 1, all of wave 2, all of wave 3.
All of exclusives, all the convention exclusives, all
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So very, very granular then. So I am so far away from that then. I just want the things that make me happy.
that way.
Yeah.
Being a completionist is not a happy existence.
No. I
that is a man talking from experience.
First time.
Yes. I've been down that road. I've been to recovery. It is bad.
You could say that Nate's time on the couch helped him get to recovery.
You could say that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's the only thing I really complete is the Playmates line from the company I despise.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You're like, this company sucks, but I complete all of their shit.
Yeah. In NECA, I kind of flirted with the idea with the like the Toon series, but I think now more recently I've become more like very, very picky on what I buy now. So that's kind of like not going down that road of like completionist. So yeah, I mean, I think I feel good. Yeah, I'm perfectly good with just getting things out of the line as long as I get that like representation.
Have you ever done like a character focus, like where you just get figures of like one character?
So like
whatever.
I don't have it up anymore, but like I had it's a little
Dick
bit
Shrine.
further behind me. All of my my Dick Shrine, like my Robin's Nightwing stuff.
I think going forward, I will start to do that more. But once I bought so again, I don't know if it's a surprise. Maybe you're an audio listener. I'm black.
Great Scott. I know, this is heavy.
So important characters
oh my
to me.
God.
This is news to me. We've this entire time, we've been doing this for a year and a half, almost.
Surprise, guys! I'm sorry I didn't, disclose that ahead of time. But yeah. So there's certain characters that I do want because maybe when I was a kid there really wasn't a strong presence. So again, like Black Panther, we got Sam Wilson, is Captain America. I'm gonna try and get pretty much everything I can from that, unless it's okay, this is the exact kind of thing, like the Diamond Select and the Marvel Legends were very okay, I'll just go this way because I'm buying everything else in the line. That's what I mean. But the same with maybe Black Panther. Going forward now, I am currently trying to find everything that is Chadwick Boseman, but then also Black Panther in the future. Those will probably be the main characters. Also Miles Morales to an extent, because I already paid a lot of money for the Mafex.
There's a lot of Miles Morales to get into.
Yeah,
so
I would like to get the Nendo for Miles. The same as well. I want to get the Black Panther Nendoroid as well. But I just kind of want to have a little bit of everything. So maybe not every single thing from those characters, but a very large portion of my collection. I want to have this representations for that, just because you never know, that could not be a thing, but I think it's going to get better, and it is getting better. So
I say
we're
just in the last decade, I feel like it's significantly increased. So I can definitely see it continue to expand as time goes on. So talking,
Ironheart right here,
exactly.
Just amazing.
who would have ever thought that we would have seen,
A black
something
Iron
like
Man,
that?
let alone
A black female Iron Man.
female Iron
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, but she's not Iron Man. She's Ironheart. But anyways,
Which is better because then she becomes her own character. She's not just
Yes.
replacing another character, because that to an extent sometimes gets lazy. You're just
yeah,
forcing representation versus building it and making it
And
its own
creating
special thing.
I'm with you on that.
So my question is regarding the Black Panther stuff. Are you solely focusing on the character Black Panther, or are you also going to go back and try to get all of like the side characters, like his sister and I can't remember her
Dora
name.
Milaje.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, the funny thing you mentioned that, and I think actually we may have briefly talked about this when we were out at the toy show some weeks back when you were home, and I saw I forgot the dude's name, not Claw, the good white guy in Black Panther. We were just talking about this. I couldn't think of his name. It's
He's Watson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
but anyways, it was a 2-pack.
he's Bilbo
with him
Baggins.
Tim
Is
from
it
The
Tim?
Office.
Oh no,
It's Tim.
Is it Tim? No. It's
The
Mhm.
British Office.
British
The
Office.
oh yes.
He's Tim.
It was the 2-pack with him and Killmonger, and I really wanted to get that. And then I've also seen like Shuri, and like I keep seeing these characters around, and I'm like, I should just buy this whole line. So I've been flirting with it. So don't be surprised if you're watching weekly purchases if those don't start to pop up, just because I do kind of want that whole cast. It's just an impactful movie,
I'll just say this: you should start picking those up, because from what I'm hearing about, the sequel that they're going to do, it's really going to center on those characters. So I could see those
Gonna be
figures
harder.
becoming harder and harder to get. So, and some of those were really good figures.
Mhm.
The Dora Milaje,
Yeah.
all of them with the different head sculpts were great. The T'Chaka, all the Killmongers, especially like the one in the actual Black Panther armor is really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you basically just motivated me to do that. Honestly, I didn't even think about
That's what
that,
I
but that is 100% like the
Oh, yeah.
case.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all.
because I just know like the week that the Dora Milaje showed up on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that figure with the 3 different heads, I mean, it just skyrocketed. So I can definitely see. Yeah, I think it's come down a little bit, but yeah, that week it just spiked, because there she was already.
Yeah.
And people could get that for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Now, the only
Definitely.
flip side of that, though, is in theory, if it is centered around these characters, they should get re-releases with their updated costumes, so you may be able to get just retail versions of them as well. It just depends on what version
Possibly,
you
it
want.
just depends on the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
And
'cause I think
also-
that Shuri is going to take a different look. So
Mhm.
to get the Shuri from not only Black Panther, but Infinity War and things like that, like that's the older one. You'd want to get that one. I mean, I don't know, because my figuratively speaking co-host Ryan, he collects MCU figures, but he tends to only have like one version of each character, which I think is crazy, because Thor looks different in every movie, and he's just like, why do I need more than one Thor? And I'm like, why would you not need more than one
that
Thor?
short
I think
hair.
I think you need
Like,
3 versions of Thor. You need original
Yeah.
Thor, you need short hair
Yeah.
Thor, and you need bro Thor.
Yeah.
You
Bro
don't
Thor.
need all the ones
Yeah.
in between.
and I
Well,
can
I mean-
accept that, but that's still 3 Thors.
That's
Mhm.
3, right?
Like if a character has a
so-
major change in wardrobe or visuals in any way,
Gotta update.
then there's a justification that you need an extra one.
Like I feel, because like you need at least like an Iron Man Mark III, you need like a Mark 85, and you need a Tony Stark. Like just that alone, that's again 3 Iron Mans.
Mhm.
Captain
Right.
America, you should have at least a version of Steve Rogers. I would say the World War II version. I would say definitely the Endgame worthy version, and maybe the Winter Soldier version in there. But I could pick out 3 of everyone, but that still, you can't limit it to me. You can't limit it to one version for some of these characters.
Oh yeah, like some of
Right.
the major ones, they go through so many changes in that last 10 years
Yep.
that they were
Yep.
a part of it, that it is kind of hard to be like, this is the definitive one and only I need.
Yeah, Ant-Man, you can get one.
Mm-hmm. It's Paul Rudd. He doesn't
Yeah.
even change in real life.
Yeah,
That's true.
Right,
He's been the
exactly.
same for like 50
100%.
years.
yes.
Very true. Very
Yep.
true.
So now we've discussed what lines you collect, what lines you probably don't collect, and we've discussed, if you complete things or if you just, focus on certain characters or certain properties. The next question is going to be, do you leave some figures on card? Are you 100% free the figure? And also, if you, obviously you do open, we can see them on your shelf behind you. So with the figures you do open, what do you do with all your accessories, and do you keep the boxes?
All right, so first question, or first part of that question, yes, I am like 99.9999999% like free in the figure. I will say the only time I don't, and it's almost just kind of out of just sheer respect for, collecting in general, is when I come across things that are like mint on card that I was getting retro turtle stuff. I just didn't feel okay with like opening that. Like, it's been sealed for so long. Like, why would I disturb that figure? So I just put it on my wall. Well, not these walls, but yeah. In the past. But so
we do
yeah,
need to get
those,
a picture from the old turtle wall.
yeah,
if you have one.
So that would be my own card experience. Outside of that, now anything new that I buy, I'm opening it up. Like, unless it's something, I don't know. Well, here's an example. Got the Mace Windu, kept him on the card because it's just so sexy, and you just can't defile that.
Yep.
Know?
Yeah.
Yep. Some of those you have to do that. Like that.
Yeah.
I have a few. I mean, other than these, like, this is really my only, like, I have very few like sealed cards. These and like some of those G.I. Joe ones that I showed you. Like, I still have it sitting here from like my fan club stuff. Yeah, those you have to do like that. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to touch it, but some, like, those things are so nice. Like, the figure is the focal point as well, sure, but the packaging is almost a part of the figure. So opening it is kind of like, But yeah, other than that, everything else is open. So what do I do with the boxes? Well, I just had a purge of a bunch of boxes. Pretty much anything that's not NECA, it went away, except for Nendoroids. I also keep those as well. I guess my deciding factor is how much accessories come with it, and that's how I will know for sure I'm going to keep it. So NECA always just stacks you on like with accessories, so I just keep the boxes just because it's cleaner that way. If I don't keep the boxes, well, now I have nifty little baggies here labeled what the figures are for and what series and everything, so then I have the accessories all put away. But I'll tell this fun story. I know it's not as much of a shock and awe because I probably should have waited to tell you the story live on the show. But if you recall, one night
I've had nightmares already about this. You're gonna repeat it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very triggering for me.
It's
gonna need a second session on the couch after this.
I am a very I'm an oxymoron when it comes to collecting, because I have a very strong belief that if I don't use something for 30 days, 2 months, then it just needs to go. I don't need it, so I've let go of a lot of things, clothes, shoes, stuff like that. Toys, different story. Yes, I have a box for my PlayStation 5 underneath my stairs. I also have my very first iMac that I bought. So my brain is weird like that. But to bring
That's
it
why
all
we're
around, I had, in the height of me getting all of these turtles and retro figures, majority of the turtles I bought were mostly loose. One, because great deals on loose figures, and I also really, really enjoy displaying them. So the only problem with that is normally you get these figures and they come with, and these are the Playmate turtles, just to be specific. They come with little blue plastic weapons and yellow weapons and stuff, and I'm like, cool, but I really just care about the figure. And when I was a kid, that's pretty much how I treated my toys as well. I just want the toy. The extra accessories, I'm sorry, Mike, were just not like important to me at that point in time. So yeah, I had a chest that came with a special pre-order for God of War 3, I think it was. And in that chest is where I put hundreds of accessories for my turtles, and I stored them in my closet for a very long time with all my boxes for everything, because I'm also, side note, collector. I am a big fan of Apple products, and I have all the boxes from the original iPhone that I have first purchased. So I had that in my closet.
Wait a minute. You have the box from your first iPhone. I'll let you finish your story first.
Yes.
I just openly weep.
Sentimental value. So, as goes the story, I was moving, and my left side of my brain, this side, and my right side of my brain, the collector side and the cleaner side, they were like arguing, and they're like, "What do you have this for? Why do you need this? Just throw that shit away. Why is it here? You have your turtles, you got them, they look amazing. Dust them off every so often. You clean them, make sure they're not, grungy or sticky or anything like that. I don't know what you guys do with your figures, but Anyways, I threw the box into a trash bag on moving day, and just kept on trucking. So quite a few. Do I think it was right? Probably, just from the disdain looked on your guys' face, probably not the greatest idea. But it's over and done with, and I still have the things that are important to me. Just not the things that are important to you guys. So yeah, that's
I just wish I had the opportunity. I would have taken the box. I would have organized them. I would have bagged them. I would have labeled them, and I would have held on to them until the day that you said, "Hey, Nate." Well, I think the conversation would have went, "Hey, Nate, two things. One, I'm black, and two, I need my accessories black." And I would have been shocked both times. What?
You're like, ah.
Oh man, this story is too much for me. I need a minute. So if you give me a second.
Yeah, it's so tough.
I need to.
Are you huffing paint on the show? Don't do it. Don't let me push you. My decision push you to
I need a paper. I'm gonna hyperventilate. Like I just need a minute. Like, oh my god. Oh my god.
But yeah, so and now to this point, I still keep the accessories. I guess I didn't really think like that they were that important because again, I never intend on anything that I buy. I never intend on selling. Like when I buy something, it is literally going to be here forever, unless I throw it in the trash. So like,
there's no such thing as a forever home if you throw it away.
I never really intended on like reselling the figures with the accessories. So like that was my brain just telling me, hey, let go, forget. But yeah, that's what I do with accessories, or what I did with accessories. Going forward, I collect them, I'll keep them with the figures and stuff, and then I'll let Ezzy throw them away when he gets older.
God. It just, my chest literally hurts. Like it literally tenses up every time you tell me that story. I have to find a way to continue.
Should have saved that question for the last.
You would think that I would have remembered the story, but I had buried it so far in my memory.
Oh yeah,
because it was so traumatic. Like that, you started talking about it, and Nate reacted, and I'm just like trying to remember, and then it hit me like a brick to the face. And I just those poor accessories.
Hey, I still have the Fanta cans from the Ninja Turtle movie back when Michael Bay brought the series back to its triumphant return. I have those if you like those. I have some can of Pringles as well with the turtles on it. Some Easy Mac. Just not the accessories.
So wait,
you have Swimming Donatello doesn't have all of his shit.
You're right.
Oh my god. So oh man, so after that tragic story, we need to turn this boat around somehow. So we're on to the final question, and it is, what is your overall holy grail? What is the one thing that, like, it, no matter what happens, this completes your collection with or without everything else you have? And do you have it, or is it still like your white whale? You're still out there trying to find it. Black whale.
So as a true collector, I have multiple holy grails. So we'll obviously talk
I feel like
about
it's a little
Ninja Turtles
gatekeeping,
because,
but we'll let it slide.
None shall pass.
I mean, do we not? Do you just have one thing that you need, or do you have
But no, the Holy
multiple
Grail is
things?
supposed to be that one
I
thing
know,
that like over everything else. Like it's
right? But I have that for multiple things. So,
I mean, you're allowed to. It's just the way you said it was like, if you aren't this way, then you're wrong.
no. I meant like as a collector, like I have an issue. So
Okay.
yes, I
So
can't just
to
choose one thing
clarify, so the
that will.
comments don't
Yeah,
explode with people being like, "This motherfucker says because I only have one Holy Grail that I'm not a collector."
no. I mean it as in I have an issue. So I have multiple things that I feel will complete my collection, not just one thing. So it'll make sense here. So I have we'll say 96% of the Playmates line underneath my stairs. There's a few figures that I just can't seem to get my hand on. Two of which are Sumo Turtles. They did Raph and Mikey. Those ones are next to impossible to find. When you new on card, they're on eBay $500-600. Not gonna happen. Primarily because I would love to have them loose, just because again that's just like my thing. And normally, if you find them loose, they don't have their little ponytail in it, and that really bumps me out. So, and even
Somebody
still,
probably put it in a box, and then when they moved, they threw it
Threw
out.
it away.
that's not an accessory. That's hair. That's hair. No, but yeah. So that bums me out because even still, if I've come across those are equally $100-200. So that isn't so much a likely thing. Like I would love to have that, and that would be amazing. But I just don't foresee that happening. But you never know. But really,
Hey, we
the
could
main
blow up and you could get rich.
that is true. But if I get rich, the first thing I'm gonna buy, because this is the true holy grail of my turtle playmate line, and it's not even a turtle, believe it or not. And if you know any thing about like the turtles and how some figures just became super rare and whatnot, there's a little character by the name of Scratch, this little cat in a prison outfit, black and white prison outfit, and that is the most difficult figure to possibly find. And I just looked at, just because I wanted to just check it and see. It's about 1,500 at minimum, and that's just eBay. Obviously that's their prices, but that's generally what I've seen over the past 7 years, 8 years of like really, really being in the thick of it, of collecting turtle stuff. So if I was to hit it rich, or if someone wants to just sponsor me and just, cash at me $1,500 to just buy this figure on eBay, I'll do an unboxing live and throw away the accessories. No, just joking. Don't kill me. But that would be my legitimate holy grail for the Playmate line. That will make me feel like this is all worth it. I have everything now. I can be so happy. Believe it or not, I have Hotspot, which he's a little bit less.
Oh
rare.
wow, yeah, no, that's good though.
Dalmatian,
That's a tough one.
He's more around like the $400 or $500 range, but still very, very interesting. But yeah, Scratch, I'd be like, all right, fuck those sumo turtles. I have everything I need from that line at that point. Outside of turtles, because I don't want to be that one trick pony. There is a couple like Holy Grail Nendoroids that I really want, and I just missed out because I wasn't into it at this point in time when they came out. And they've been doing better with releases, so these probably won't be real Holy Grails. But Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, I can't find that for less than $150-200. Korra from Legend of Korra, same thing, $200-300. And then a few characters from Attack on Titan. I have Levi coming. I did get caught on that pre-order for the re-release, but Aaron, Armin, and Misaka, those are like the three main figures or main characters. You just can't find them for anything less than about $200.
Oh,
it's crazy how much the Attack on Titan stuff. Even the pops. When I go to like the exchange and stuff, I see them because we have them. My wife is a big fan, and I'm just shocked at the prices on some of that stuff. That really.
That's probably like, I would say like, I don't maybe I'm stepping out on a limb here, but I feel like this is one of the most popular animes, and just like the past 10 years or so, and that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the collectible stuff is just insane. Sadly, it's gonna be gone soon. Yeah,
It'll
those
never
are
be gone.
that's true. That's true. Because you can always just rewatch it and start again, and then
Mhm.
there'll be another series that'll come out, and I'll be happy. But yeah, those are like the main things. So it really is Holy Grail. Give me Scratch. That will make me happy. But if I can't get Scratch, give me the Sumo Turtles. That'll make me happy. But of course, outside of the TMNT, just a laundry list of Nendoroids that I've missed. Apparently, when they first came out, they were like closer to pop range as far as pricing, so like
Mhm.
$30, $40, and then over the as the years went, popularity just increased through the roof. Now it's 60, 70, 80. Those early figures like Legend of Korra, that was like a $40 figure, and now it's like $200, $300.
Yeah.
It hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts.
That
But
is
yeah,
one
I
of
mean, that's
the
pretty
downsides
much
to
it.
get into it late.
Yeah, I should have been that cool hipster on the fringe back before no one knew about Nendoroids, but also I didn't, I wouldn't have
You
bought
didn't
them.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Unfortunately, we weren't doing a toy show yet, so you hadn't
Sure.
expanded outside of the Turtleverse.
If only you could have saved me.
If only. I'm so sorry. But that is it for Toyfarerapy. Make sure to head over to Instagram and Twitter and follow us for updates and announcements at Modern Toy Fair. Also, I have tons of pictures of all sorts of toys on there as well. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more Toyfarerapy and other toy-related videos, including reviews and our other podcasts. Also, make sure to go and follow Jarmar on Twitch with Jarmar_games, where he will be streaming occasionally with his Apex Legends ventures. And also check out his previous podcast that may or may not have a season 2 at some point, Why Are You a Gamer, where he talked to different people in the gaming community and found out why they are a gamer. Much like how we find out what you collect, he would find out why they like video games. And we would be remiss if we left out Nurse Nate down there at the bottom. Make sure to go and check out the Figuratively Speaking podcast, where him and his other two co-hosts literally just ramble on about different toys. There are, 92 previous episodes?
92.
Correct? 92 episodes you can go back and listen to. Yes, some of them are very topical time-wise, but they're still a fun listen, and it's even more fun to hear some of the stuff that they accidentally predict and argue about that kind of came to fruition. Nate also has some new podcast ventures coming in the near future, so make sure to stick around to find those out. But that's going to be it for Toyfarerapy, and hopefully you will come back to sit on our couch. So thank you for watching.
Thank you for sitting on the couch. You don't have to add that.